come up with the idea for what is now, frankly, a neoclassic effect
Uh,
in card
yeah.
magic?
Well, while I was a full-time magician, I was also a full-time graphic designer. So I did both things professionally, concurrently. And so part of my graphic design filtered into part of the magic that I was creating. And I happened to be coming off of a big lecture tour that was on the East Coast. And I was driving back from Boston, I remember specifically, on a very long night because I had to get back to my regular day job. And it was more 10, 12 hour drive, something. It was insane. And so what I would do is I would try to keep myself awake during
Hmm.
that time, and I would just come up with ideas for magic tricks. And really more what it was thinking of what are some amazing things that we take for granted, like electricity and flight and things like that. But just one of them that crossed the radar there that particular time was animation. And since I
Okay.
was already a graphic designer, already an artist, it struck a chord with me. And so I wrote down the idea of animation. And I started to think about doing a flip book kind of animation where you could reorder everything and create something different. Maybe with a pharaoh or something.
Hmm.
It was all it didn't none of it made any sense. But by the time I got done with that drive, I had already figured out that all I had to do was place one last image after a sequence, and it would seem like the whole sequence was leading up to it. And then I had decided, well, that's going to be cards. It was easy to apply to a card trick. If you've got, it, I don't want to encourage everybody to do this, but if you've got an idea that's never been tried before and it's kind of complicated, the easiest thing to test it on is a card trick. It isn't always necessarily the best thing to keep it with, but in this case, it happened to work out nicely. So, I did that drive. I got home. I was exhausted. And instead of going to sleep like I should have, I grabbed a deck of cards and started drawing on the back of them. I took maybe a 20-minute nap before I went into work that day. I was worthless at work because it's all I could think about. And then I got home and I worked on it again. It was just one of those uh, moments of serendipity that, because I already had all of the skills necessary to put it together, I was the perfect guy to put it together.